Alright, insert cheesy intro here. I'm gonna not do a cheesy intro and just cut to the chase. I got some wild shenanigans. So, if you have never seen any of the previous videos of this server before, buckle up, bitch. Okay, so basically, let me just give a general concept of what this is before I just dive into the meat and potatoes, just to try to cover all of my bases. So we have created a server, which is still in pre-alpha. Kind of the reason why I'm making this video, just to keep some logs and just to see if anybody wants to come help us pre-alpha test. We're going to do a playthrough. So we have basically built two servers in one. So it's a Skyblock and an RPG. So heavy RPG with legitimate classes, legitimate skills. I'm going to show you all of it. All the crafting systems, all the gear, all the abilities, the skill trees. There's a ton of stuff, ton of content. And we've only been up for about a month-ish now, maybe like a month and a few days. So still relatively early, but the amount of content that we have on here already is ridiculous. I would say that we rival a lot of big servers, but we're not big. We don't have any name, never paid for like hosting or whatever, and haven't dropped a few grand on advertising sites, none of that. Just a grassroots project, which I like better because there's tender love and care in every corner. So I'm going to walk you through the RPG, and I'm going to tie it to the Skyblock. So I guess like the macro idea, your character is the RPG side, obviously, and then your economy / storage / base, yada yada yada, is all your Skyblock stuff. So I'm gonna just start from the beginning. If you have ADD, ADHD, and you can't concentrate, probably just click off now, because I just can't. I just can't. So first, this is where you spawn. You spawn right here. There's a possibility that by the time you join, if you do join, things are different because we're adding things and fixing things and updates like every day. Just never-ending project. So we'll start with the hologram, which is probably what you'll see when you do first join. So first you class. So we're going to /class. And then we have 5 currently functional classes. So I'll probably do Rogue. I think last time I did Warrior, which I do love Warrior so much. Mage, the Elementalist is my baby, but I think we'll probably do Rogue for now. For this one, I'm just feeling like a Rogue right now. So this is all just lore based. So the base stats on the bottom, all of this is just lore. So just to give you an idea what the class is, you'll see Rogue is an assassin. Uses mana, melee class, crit and poison based abilities, high damage, high mobility, low defense, standard assassin rogue. And then you can see the base stats in the bottom. High attack speed, no magic damage, really low health, not much survivability, but you do get some lifesteal, which is really clutch based off of an ability, which I'll show you. Decent crowd control, no hard CCs, just soft CCs with slows, and really good mobility. So glass cannon, basically melee mage kind of thing. So we're going to go with that. Lovely sound. Okay, so now we have picked our class. We went with Rogue, which is that, and then we do /skills and put our skills in. So we have, for all the squeakers that join or the people who just can't figure out the hologram, I put some nice images up so that way there is a step-by-step process showing people how to click and do their abilities. So I'll show you how to do that. We do our skills, or /s even for the shortcut. So bait and switch basically is our invisibility, but it also has a decoy. So not only do you go invisible, but you also spawn a rogue decoy. which you immediately swap places with, basically. So you can't see it from my perspective, so I'll show you what it looks like from our perspective as the one using the ability. But from the enemy's perspective, you just turn into a black shadow figure that has a black AoE, damage AoE around it, and then that's it. So it's bait and switch, meaning that you go out and then the clone comes in, but you're invisible and you get the mobility. So increased movement speed, you could see here. So we're going to click that, and we're going to put that here for skill 1. And then for skill 2 is our Phantom Fury, lifesteal, crit damage, and movement speed. So a really just a universally good ability that you can use. The Bad Omen on the bottom of it is just a lore problem. Doesn't actually give you Bad Omen. I'm going to have to, I can fix it. I think I can use Items Adder to create a custom texture and replace that. That's an easy fix. Just, I have so many other things going on, but you could disregard the Bad Omen at the bottom. Even says it in the lore itself, disregard the Bad Omen. It's just a visual, so I even put that on there so nobody thinks they're getting Bad Omen from it. And then Smoke Bomb is, you just drop a poison AoE around your feet. Super high damage dealing ability. It's the only directly damaging ability technically. And then your Warp, which is your teleport, which I absolutely love. So now we have our class selected and our skills binded. And then you press F to enter and leave spellcast mode, which defaults to your offhand keybind. So you have to go into your keybinds and see where your offhand button is if F does not work. So if I press F, should see our skills at the bottom there, above our hotbar, which reflects here. So this is what it should show for you if you picked Rogue. And whatever class you pick, it'll show that class's abilities instead. And then we have kit goodies to help you start. So we do our kit. And you got all these goodies, a chunk loader for your Skyblock, so you can claim this every 4 hours, and then you can put a chunk loader on your island, so it'll keep the island loaded while you do your other stuff. You got ice in case you mess up your cobble generator. You got 2 lava buckets in case you mess up your cobble generator. A couple taco kits just to get you started for some early food. Class point, which is what you use to change classes. You can change classes freely. So if I'm level 10 rogue and then I change to ranger, and then I'm a level 1 ranger, but if I go back to rogue, I go back to level 10 rogue. So you do keep your levels for the specific class. And then the skill tree reallocation point token, which I will show you in a moment. If we do our skill trees, we have these. Disregard this visual. I am going to redo the visual. I just needed to get one functioning. So we can choose attack damage, magic damage, physical damage, PvE, PvP, max health, damage reduction. I can add a bunch of stats in here, and I can rearrange this, and then I could do per class skill trees, which I'm going to have to revamp the whole skill tree system, but this is how it is right now. It's at least functioning, so that was step number 1. So we have a functioning skill tree. You can move around, so I can go up, down, left, right. So if you see attack damage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I go up, I hit the top here. This is 10. So 1 to 10, there's 10 levels for each of these stats. The max level is 40, so you can max out 10 or 4 of these columns, or mix and match, whatever you decide to do. We will get skill tree points as we level up, so every time you level up you get a skill tree point. Here is the general concept, which we don't need to read because I am telling you what the general concept is. A nice little hologram to get the people who join that are in robot mode, where you're just joining 77 servers in a row and they're all copy paste garbage nonsense. I thought maybe this hologram would help snap those people out of robot mode. You know, because you're not really going to see a server that has that too often. And then you can see our HUD. So we have this nice custom HUD that shows our health. This is no mods. There are 0 mods. This is all just plugins and resource pack. So there are 0 mods. You don't have to download, install, or use any mods. And we even have a party system. So when you're in a party, that was me in that party, and then Diddy Blunder, who was in that party, he was warrior, so that shows his icon for warrior. I was mage, so that's my icon for mage. So it'll show your party members' health mana. Warrior doesn't have mana, so that's why he doesn't have a mana bar. And then it'll just show the icon indicating what class they are, so you can party up to 3 people for combat and for island, which is really cool. The combat is so sick. You can skip forward ahead if you want to watch it, but if you do, I don't know. I'm going to bite my tongue on that. Okay, so now we're going to come here, and we're going to craft our level 1 gear. So tokens are from kit. So if I go in here, you can see, okay, I am rogue. So this is a rogue item, requires class rogue, and requires level 1. Ingredients is a level 1 gear token, which we do not have. We get those from kit. Here's our level 1 gear token. Now we have 6 of those. Now I can craft my dagger, my shuriken, which, by the way, I love the way that looks. Our bloody dagger, our shuriken, and then our gear. We'll claim that. Sweet. Now we put this all on. So crit chance, armor, health, max mana, yada yada. Here's our stats. Now this says offhand item. For some reason, 7 out of 10 people who join just put this in their main hand and then wonder, why do I have to switch between items? You don't. It says offhand item on it, so put it in your offhand. And now we have our dagger and our shuriken. So we're going to grab our taco kits, just because, to pretend that we're just starting now. We can get our Discord button here. This broke, so I have to refix it. We have to redo the texture or the resource pack. We have to create a new directory for sound files, yada yada yada. But you press this button and it will literally play the Doom music soundtrack for you. So we have custom sounds, and then I got to replace whatever was here. I don't even remember what was there. And we have elevators, actual elevators, which you can click to go up and down. And you can make these on your island. So you just put a bracket, elevator bracket, and on your island you can make your own elevator. Easy peasy. Got a nice skill tree thing here to catch people's attention. So when you come down, you see, oh, what the hell is this block mess? It does look like a block mess because I just have bigger fish to fry at the moment, but it'll get a visual revamp, but it's functioning. So at least it's functioning. You can put your points in and it gives you stats. And then, so that's our skill tree. And then hopefully this is enough to catch people's attention when they come across here. You can do /P, stats, or player to view your stats. So if I do stats, I'll be able to see my character, level 1, skill tree points underneath, progression, yada yada yada. All the way at the bottom it says Rob loves you, because I do love you. And then we have our offense stats. You can monitor all of your stats here, which is super handy, and for some reason is super rare to actually be able to have a GUI that constantly updates with all of your stats. So all the things that you build, for example, if I was to take, let's take crit chance is 2 and then 3. So let me do my crit chance is 14, and then 215. So if I take this off and then do this, 12 and 2, 12. So it updated automatically. So you don't have to do anything, just whatever you're building, which applies to gems and stuff, upgrade tokens, all this stuff you can put on your gear, all different ways that you can upgrade your character, your skill trees, all that stuff will update in there. Here's the Skyblock stuff, which we can and have been putting custom items into. So for example, actually let's save that. We'll save the Skyblock shit for later. Here's some Skyblock stuff I made last night to trying to create a new way for people to make money. So you can make boosted crops, for example. So if you take all these potatoes, make an extra potato or boosted potato, and then you come in here and then you have all your boosted crops, craft a island token, which is sold to shop. You make on your island, and you come in here and you can sell your island token for 300 bucks. So you just make boosted crops on your crops. There's different kinds of ways. I'll be adding a bunch to make island tokens. Nice little reminder to how you make your money. We have quests, which are daily quests, easy, medium, and hard daily quests that reload automatically for you every day. and I'll show you all the different shops and how to interact with all the different stuff. Your cobble generator directly gives you money. We have custom plugins that the Skyblock, so when you break a block, any block, it triggers what's called an event. You can make that event trigger anything, basically, including commands. So what that means is that breaking a cobblestone block on your island can trigger a command that has a % chance to trigger, which we can configure, and a maximum amount of times that it can trigger, which we can configure. And then because it's just a generic command that it can execute, means that we can do anything with it, including give you money or spawn an ally egg, which is a thing. It's basically you just get an egg that you can spawn a little companion that gives you extra boosts like movement speed and mining speed or whatever. And you get tokens and you get grave tokens and you get and it respawns, instead of it being cobblestone, it respawns as coal ore or lapis lazuli or redstone or whatever. So it's all customized. None of this is copy pasted. We don't do copy paste garbage here. Island mobs, which are not vanilla, they might look and behave sometimes as vanilla, but they are not. They each island hostile mob, like zombies, husks, skeletons, stuff like that, directly deposit money into your account when you kill them. Island logs, same as your cobble generator, pumpkins, melons, stuff like that. You sell your shit to your shop, obviously, and island tokens. There's a couple more things, but those are the meat and potatoes of it. You can upgrade your cobblestone generator in here, so you increase your chances for the cobblestone to be replaced with an ore, for example, which we can add a bunch of stuff here, but this is a cobblestone upgrader. So you can upgrade your cobblestone generator so it generates more ores. Community chests where people can just put their extra items or take extra items, whatever. I don't know if I can show that stuff. Alright, so I think what we'll do, I'm going to appease the ADD or ADHD crowd first, and we'll do combat first. If you have ADD or ADHD and you got to here without skipping around, I am proud of you. So we have a zone system. Blue zone, yellow zone, this is your island, so this is not a combat zone. Red zone, and then black zone, which nobody is anywhere even close to being ready for. So we'll obviously be starting at blue zone because this is the easy one. Keep inventory is on, PvP is disabled, you can party with up to 3 people, and it's recommended you farm here, you know, if you're between level 1 and 20. So that's what we're going to go first. So none of the mobs here are vanilla. All of the mobs here are customized, and they operate in teams and factions and have different levels to the AI. So each individual mob has a thought process. They have a group mind process. So some of the factions, the mob factions, operate differently. None of them operate the same. They all operate differently. And then it is all run by an overall server AI, which decides all of the mob behavior. So the server is constantly trying to strategize on how to kill the player and how to adapt to what the players are doing. And then the players have to adapt to what the AI is countering them with, so they can try to counter the AI, and then the AI tries to counter them, and it just goes back and forth and back and forth. So here, now if we were to break a block, it will turn to cobblestone, which a lot of people get thrown off by at first. But the reason for that is because it's Skyblock. So if you could just come here and grab, 3 inventories of sand and dirt, what the hell would be this Skyblock economy? So it all converts to cobblestone. So you'll notice this creeper is giant. He will break blocks in the way of you, or in between him and you. So if there's a block in between or obstructing his path to me, he'll destroy the block to get to me. If he blows up on me, he's going to launch me up into the air. Pretty straightforward. So not a vanilla creeper, but I can use that to my advantage. So because I'm a rogue, I can warp like that. And now if I was to let him blow up on me and then I warped back down to the ground when I'm up in the air, I won't take the fall damage, and then he'll blow up the ground, and then I just got 40 cobblestone without needing to mine 40 cobblestone. So that's that. These zones regenerate. It is a 600, I think, or 800-ish border around blue zone. So relatively small zone. The zones regenerate twice a day, so you can come here and just wreak havoc. Destroy shit. I can raid this chest if I want to. Book, I'll take all this, thank you. And then tomorrow, or in 12 hours, that will regenerate. I can break this chest if I want to. Grief everything. No big deal. Tomorrow, or in 12 hours. I think in a couple of hours, or maybe like an hour and a half-ish from the time that I'm recording this. Oh, a sticky spider. So, spider... If I wait long enough, yep, he'll throw me in a web. So even the spiders have abilities. Now, because I'm using a shuriken, I can throw the shuriken on him. I'll show you another one. Throw my shuriken. If it hits, it does an AoE poison slow. So I'll throw, I heard somebody spawn over here, so what we'll do is I'll go hunt these guys down. I really should probably eat a taco, actually. I do not get high regen because I'm on a rogue. So this is Oscar the Grouch. He is an absolute piece of shit. So, oh, 2 Oscar the Grouches, okay. And Oscar the Grouch has a really large loot table, so he can drop a bunch of good different things. This is the Outpost King, who is supposed to lead a whole party of pillage. Oh, there they are. Yep. So if I want to go over there and just wreak havoc, I'll warp over there. Easy peasy. I'll pull all their attention. I'm going to try to pull them all together. Oh, we got skeletons joining too. Even better. Now, they will fight each other. So if I go and hide inside here... I'm really slow because the skeleton is slowing me down with his AoE ability. But let's say I was to warp up there, easy peasy, open this up, hide in here. They won't see me anymore, they'll lose, their attention span will shorten, and then they'll start turning on each other. So they already killed the Oscar. I can see some of his drops out there. Interesting that he dropped a shulker shell. The pillagers... So now the skeletons and the pillagers see each other. So they're going to start killing each other out there. So you can use that to your advantage. So none of the factions are allies with each other. Different factions, different teams. I used the wrong ability. So I have Phantom Fury on right now. So watch my health. Now my health is full. Because Phantom Fury gives me lifesteal. So I accidentally used it. I didn't mean to use it there, but... I'll use it to my advantage to get the lifesteal. I heard somebody else spawn. Okay, more pillagers. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull all these guys together. And this is what we're going to do. Is now they're on these oranges. I'm invisible right now. They can't see me. And my clone is right there. And my clone is going to pull up. Drop me a smoke bomb. Throw a shuriken. And then warp the fuck out. So now I'm all the way over here. They're in the smoke bomb and poisoned by the shuriken, all that. A bunch of them died. So I just got a bunch of kills. So I'm level 2 now. A little bit low on health, so I'm going to pop my Phantom Fury, use my lifesteal, and my crit damage. Get some fat hits, heal up. Easy peasy. Come in here, swipe up all the loot. The loot system is wild. There is a bunch of shit going on with the loot system, crafting, all that stuff. It's been a lot of fun to make, actually. There's so many different systems. So if I look around in here, I got metal fragments, nature fragments, blood fragments. These are all different fragments for different classes. Some gem items, which we use to craft gems, which I'll show you as well. Bunch of different goodies. I'll walk you through what each of them is used for. We're going to get some more combat in here, so I don't like that they're moving so fast. So that gold aura, the pillager guy, When he blows his battle horn, gives all of the pillagers movement speed. So each of the faction leaders has a different ability that buffs their faction in one way or the other. So the pillager guy gives them all movement speed. So I'm going to pull all these guys together. Hit him with a fat shuriken right in the face. And if I really want to play like this, I could. We're just keep trying to kite him out around shurikens. Some people do that. It is relatively strong, which you can do, but I like to kind of get in there. So that is... Oh, I gotta eat. I was wondering why I was so slow. We'll do an apple now. Oops. Okay, so that's something that will happen to you, probably. So I didn't actually use bait and switch. I didn't press 2 there. So 2, 3, 4, and 5 is how I would use my abilities. If I have... Oh, fucking Mildred. Okay, so this is a witch, a custom witch that rides a phantom. She is a really fun individual. But if I use scroll, like I cannot scroll through my abilities right now. If I try to scroll, it's going to lock. So I have to actually exit skill casting mode, then scroll, and then put skill casting mode back on if I want to. So I skill cast mode off, go over to apple, eat the apple, or throw a shuriken, okay, and then go back to skill casting mode. Okay, so here comes the orcs. I love the orcs. They are bigger than normal mobs because we can scale mobs in vanilla Minecraft, believe it or not, which you'll see when I show you the goblins. So these guys are big-ass orcs that have a lot of knockback resistance, a lot of tankiness, and the orc Kilrog is his name. Even more orcs, nice. When he blows his battle horn, he heals all nearby orcs a couple of times because he does a drum roll with it, which I'll show you in a second. I'll let him do his thing. Do it, buddy. So all that green particle, all the nearby orcs inside of that AoE just got healed, but they were already full health. I want to get rid of this Mildred because she's a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to bait and switch here. We're all in the cloud. Drop a smoke bomb. Big ass smoke on the area. Drop a shuriken. More AoE DOT, and they're slowed down. Now I drop my Phantom Fury. Crit damage lifesteal. Get some fat hits off in there. And lifesteal the damage. So the reason why I do it like that, that's my combo. Everybody has different combos, is because if I'm hitting hard enough, come on, man, get off it. All right. So if I'm life stealing, I try to. It's like kind of how you tank things. So you're not really a tank, but you have life steal. So it's like a pseudo tank, as long as your life steal is active. I'm gonna pick up all of these items, and now we can see we're level 6. So early on, you level relatively fast, which appeases all the squeakers. So we got all this different stuff. So now we got more resources. We got some health potions, empty resource bottles. These are all just crafting materials. I'm relatively low on health, so let's eat a couple apples. I'll take this off. I'll put a health potion on. I'll eat a health potion. Maybe a taco, a little bit of regen, and then we're good to go. So I can raid this whole village if I want to and just scour each house for a different chest and try to, like, say, let's see, I see one here. Okay, paper, bread. I'll take the bread. That'll be nice. The bread here. All right, so that's that. We'll move on. We'll leave this area. If I want to just traverse nice and fast, I can just, I'll go pop, pop, pop up there. Warp up to the top of this tree. Okay, we're at the world border here. Relatively small world border. I think what we'll do is we'll just pop a Phantom Fury, get some movement speed. I'll go this way. I'm trying to find a nice pack of goblins so you can see what the goblins are like. They have a couple of different... So the goblins do not have a faction leader, What the goblins do is a little bit different. Since there's no leader, there's just different roles that each of them fill. So there is the little armadillo riders, which are literally that little tiny goblins, like really like the size of this flower, tiny. Oh shit, they're fast. Okay, I'm gonna drop a smoke bomb since they're chasing me. They can run through it. Hit them with a shuriken, so they're slowed down inside of it. Let it get all that DOT on there. I don't like this. I'm gonna warp up to the top of here. No, there's nothing they can do. Now I'm invisible. I just use bait and switch. They don't know where I am. They just see the clone. So now I can get the hell out of there. I'm completely invisible right now. I can see myself if I F5, but they cannot see me. If you do damage, you will break your invisibility though, so just be a little mindful of it. Okay, fuck it. I'm not going to keep searching. I'm just going to spawn them. So let's do blue zone goblin. Goblin spawner. Okay, so goblins are going to spawn here. They're going to come for me. I have a texture problem on my side. This is a client side issue that I have right now, causing helmets to be rotated 20 or 90 degrees. And chest plates, leather chest plates not showing properly, so they don't normally look this retarded. But you can see there's, oh shit, yeah, so that is the that is the artillery that the goblin, one of the goblins do. So these guys just blew their battle horn, they're pushing me, and then they get a movement speed buff, and then they just push you away to try to peel for the goblin splat loader in the back. Alright, this thing has got to... I was a little late on that. Alright, this is a problem now. Okay. Alright, so I got killed by my own mobs. Whatever. So you saw the goblins are small, orcs are big, pillagers throw a battle horn and run really fast. That's a bunch of different kinds of mobs in between, like Mildred the Miserable, who is the witch riding the phantom, Oscar the Grouch, who is the shulker. There's tons of mobs. Tons of mobs. It's like going to the... what was the name of that place in like the first Pokemon, the Safari, where you get like the ride-ons and where you get the HM for, was it Fly? I don't know if it was Fly. Whatever. It's like, so there's all different kinds of mobs, basically different teams. They fight each other. They have different AIs. They have different purposes. The witch is an asshole. Noseman, which you'll, if you decide to play, you'll meet Noseman. He is an absolute terrorist. So let's say now we have all this stuff. What do we do with all this stuff? So what I would do, normally you go to your island and make your chests and whatever, wherever to store your things. But I'm not going to go there yet. So we'll run through the shops now. And now that we have some stuff here, what do we do with all this stuff? So let's say I'm level 7. You can see my stats down here. Level 7 or/P. Look at my stuff. Level 7, and I am 3.2% of the way to level 8. Level 10 crafting station for level 10 gear. So we are rogue. So it requires 20 bucks, requires you to be a rogue, and requires level 10. We're not level 10 yet, but we can inspect the items. So at the bottom, crafting time 5 seconds, and then 3 blood fragments are the ingredients. So if I have 3 blood fragments, these are going to get reskinned here relatively soon. So probably by the time you join, they won't look like this, but this is what they are for now, just as a placeholder. So 3 blood fragments will get me this Shadowling Dagger, 8 damage, 2 attack speed, and then 6/6 on crit chance and stuff. 8, 2, 6/6. So slight improvement from level 10, level 1 to level 10, and then the shuriken. Let me grab, let's take this off here so we can inspect the difference. So 10 or 3.5% crit chance, okay, 5.5% increase, 5.5% increase mana regen, okay, 0.3 increase on mana regen, 0.2% increase on lifesteal, And then 1% increase on skill cooldown reduction. Okay, so the shuriken, obviously, level 10 to level 1 is going to be slightly stronger. And at the bottom, you see it has empty white gem socket. So that ties into our whole gem thing. So this one has a red gem socket. Mine does not. What does that mean? Same with the armor. That has a white gem. This one has a green gem. This one has green gem. And then the boots will have a white gem. So what the hell does that mean? These are all the different class gear. Level 10, 20, 30, yada yada yada. This goes upstairs to the flight station, which we are not there yet. So what does it mean? The white gem slot, green gem slot, yada yada yada. That is this place, the gem cutting station and the gem crafting station. So gems, white gem slot. So this is a white gem, would go into a white gem slot. So this one is a white gem for cooldown reduction. This is a tier 1. This one is a tier 2, requires level 30. We're nowhere near that, and requires $50 to craft. And then at the bottom, 5 gem foundations, 5 gems foundation enhancers, and 5 white gem essence. So let's say I wanted to craft a level 1 or a tier 1 white cooldown reduction gem, or additional experience, or movement speed. Bunch of different stats would be added in here, so you can have like insane build theory. You can do, you know, mana regen, lifesteal, max health build, or movement speed, cooldown reduction, crit damage build, or whatever you want to build. Crazy different build theory that you can do. So let's say we're going to do cooldown reduction, and I want to build this. So I need 2 gem foundations, which I have, 2 gem foundation enhancers, which I have, and then 1 white gem essence, which I have. So I want to make this, but it requires level 10. So what we'll do is we'll go back out to Blue Zone really quick. I'll get level 10 real fast. And then we're going to go craft some of that as well. So I would probably cut this out, but I have no intentions on actually editing. I've been doing file work all day, all week, multiple weeks in a row, all month long. And video editing is not really what I want to do. I don't really like doing videos, to be perfectly honest. It's not my funnest thing, but this needs to get done. So here's a Pinchy Mick pouch. What he does no damage. He just runs away from you, so he does not want to be anywhere near... Oh. He doesn't want to be anywhere near the player. Oh, some wild shit happened down here. Okay, so I can throw a shuriken at him, probably. Let me put that back in offhand. See if we can hit him. And you see his health on top, and he died. No, he did not die. Okay, I'm just going to warp real quick and see if we can snipe a hit on him real quick. No, he warped to the wrong place. Nice! Alright. There we go, kill him real quick. Bunch of goodies that he drops. And he also drops a Pinchy Power Book, which gives you just extra stats. So because I'm a rogue, normally I would be stuck down here. What the fuck? Is that a cave buster? Pretty sure, yep. Cave busters spawn down here. If you go down too far, cave busters spawn, and they are really, really messed up. Alright, warp up, and we didn't work. Okay, let's try, I don't know, we can pillar out. I just heard something spawn. Goblins, nice. He's gonna drop an artillery on me. Let's wait for that. I'm gonna warp out. Oh no, I messed up. Okay. Slow down, boys. Smoke bomb. They're cooked. Drop a shuriken over there. There's gonna be a artillery coming down here in a second. Warp out to this tree. Oh, right onto skeletons. Shit! Alright, we're gonna go invisible now. Let's pull up together. ganging up on me pretty good right now. The skeletons are really... Here's a Noseman. Oh, you bitch, Noseman. So what Noseman does, the reason why he... here comes a spider. So you'll see. So now it's like, okay, the server starts to amp things up on you a little bit. You know, you get a little wombo combo of different mobs. I got Noseman, who smells you, and a spider who puts you in webs. Gotta heal up. Noseman, brother. We're gonna do a bait and switch here. I'm gonna go invisible. So what Noseman does is he smells you. So because I'm invisible, he can smell, not see. So he still knows I'm here. So he's gonna suck me in at some point here anyways. So you'll see he's gonna smell me. And he doesn't know what he wants to do. So half it, yep, there he goes. He just smelled me. So half of his AI wants to attack you. The other half of his AI wants to run away from you. So it ends up in like a borderline schizophrenic AI. He doesn't really know what he wants to do. He just really wants to smell you and kill you, but he's too scared to hit you. Drop a smoke bomb with the run through the smoke bomb. Nice level up. Go invisible here. Let's kill this Oscar. Oh, nice. The smoke bomb killed everybody. Perfect. So now once we're done with this Oscar floating nonsense, we can... Actually, we can just warp down now. And then here comes a giant clapsack, so we're going to scoop up all this loot. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Alright. Alright, so we're going to swoop up all the loot. We need to get to level 10. That's what we're going to do. So let's do... Shit. Oh, it's an Oscar up there. Okay. Alright, so let's just do this. Let me go, let's just heal up just for the sake of saving time. We'll do a orc group. Maybe 2 of them will be enough. Spawn 2 of them. Phantom Fury. Get some nice kills. Easy peasy. Down. I suck at melee classes for some reason. I'm decent with Rogue only because they have a shuriken. Otherwise I normally suck. Oh, that's not good. Alright, well, we're gonna have to defend ourselves in here and see what happens. Somehow I just can't auto attack this. Drop a smoke bomb. Come on. Can we... Yeah. So we're invisible right now. They don't see us because we used bait and switch. Oh, they're all dead anyways. Okay, so smoke bomb hit them. Alright. So let's, oh yeah, Oscar's going to town on that guy. Oh, shit. Oh, no. So these holes are usually from the goblins. So the pack of goblins chilling up in a tree like little bastards. So what they do, there's a goblin, what's called a goblin splat loader. So what the goblin splat loader does is he calls down... Look how tiny he is, dude. Oh, shit. Drop a smoke bomb here. Let him come through the smoke bomb. No more shuriken. Double DOT. Alright, cool. So they're, now you see my quest is filling up in the top. That blue boss bar. I have a quest for... I guess one of my quests is to kill the faction leaders in Blue Zone. Let's melt those guys down real quick. Easy peasy. Okay. So there's a... what are they doing? That guy right there. Come on. We're actually almost dead. We're gonna go invisible here. They don't know where we are. I'm gonna warp up there. And I fucked up. Okay. So I'm surprised they're not jumping down here. Oh no, no, no! Oh, spider ganked me. Okay, whatever. So we're level 10. So now that we're level 10, we can now craft our level 10 gear and make some gems. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's make our level 10. I'm gonna do the shuriken because it gives me more damage, and then we're gonna do the dagger because that gives me more damage. And then let's look at the 5/5. So let's take our armor off here so we can compare. Alright, so we're gonna take, let's look at helmet. 3, 2. Skill cooldown reduction and max mana is a big improvement there. Let's look at the chest plate. 5/5. 3/2. That's just a damage increase, so we're gonna do that. Let's look at the pants. 3/3. 2/2. A little bit of health, a little bit of damage. That's for 7. Okay, we'll do that. That's fine. And then safe fall distance is nice. Movement speed. Yeah, that's nice. And cooldown. Yeah, that's nice. So we're going to do that. Alright, so we're going to build everything besides boots right now. But we have an issue with storage. So we're going to do our island, because this is where your island starts coming into play when you have to do storage things. So we'll just start storing a bunch of shit in here. And we have identification scrolls now too that we can use. So I'm going to take some of those out. We have our quest tokens that we can use. I'll show you those. Let's clear all this out and get rid of our level 1 gear. I think we need the helmet still. And then we'll go back to, well, I would normally do spawn, but just for the sake, oh no. Home, crafting. Normally you would just do spawn and run back here, but we're not doing that right now. So let's claim all of our newly crafted gear. We'll put our level 10 on. We'll equip our level 10 dagger, our level 10 shuriken, and our level 1 helmet back. Let's do IS, and we're gonna trash our level 1 shit here. Easy peasy. Okay, so with the scrolls of identification that we got, let's say, you know, we're killing enemies and we get an unidentified armor. So we have this unidentified helmet. Don't know what class it's for. We're gonna take this, put it on there. Okay, it's for Ranger. So that's not our class. That's a different class for a level 20 Ranger. We could break those down so we can salvage. So if I was to go into my cobble generator, let's say we're doing this. Oh, I have a quest up at the top. So I have a quest for doing cobblestone on my island. That's one of my daily quests. So just doing this is generally good on Skyblock. Obviously, cobble generators are just everything. So there's a bunch of extra spice that goes into it with your cobble generator. So let's say, what is going on here? I'm being anti-cheat blocked on myself. Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, so it seems I'm gonna have to change some parameters for that. So let's just take this. This one's even faster. Alright, how do we even, let me disable myself, Grim. Let's see. Stop spectating. I don't know what that means. No. Okay. Brands, history log, preferred profile, version. I just put this on like yesterday or the day before, so okay, whatever. I don't know. I don't really know what the fuck is going on with that. I'm gonna have to change that. Okay, well, let's just pretend that that works. And what I would get is a bunch of different things. One of the things that I would get is this, a salvage tool. So let's just say I got a bunch of these. You can get like 60 of them a day from the cobble generator. Pretty easily common to get. So I was to take the salvage tool. This is for a class that I'm not using. This is for Ranger, so it's not for Rogue, which is what we are. I'm going to take this and salvage it down. And we got salvage. So let's take the salvage. Let's pretend that we got a bunch of salvage. We broke down a bunch of different gears that we don't want. And we could do the same for gemstone stuff as well that we don't want. So let's go craft ourselves a gem. So we're gonna take our gem foundations. We'll do our white gem essence. We'll take our gem foundation enhancers. Maybe we can make a green gem or a red gem too while we're there. Let's see if we have any more. None here. Any here? Nope. This is just stuff from cobble generator. Nope. But what I could do, I could take these, for example. It's in 3, 4, 5, 6. Take these and identify them all. These are old deprecated wands anyways, so they would not be used because they are not the new wands that we have. Oh, level 20. This one is for Rogue. So that is probably a really bad roll on stats. There are randomized stats, so you can... oh, these are old items. They're deprecated. This is probably not going to work on the old ones. Yeah, okay, so these are really old items that were from previous versions I'm just going to get rid of. But normally, all new items being generated... Oh, yeah, look, that one just updated. Uncommon... Okay, so the skin updated, but the common didn't. Whatever. So I would salvage those, and I would get salvage. So I use the salvage tool, and it converts them into salvage. So let's go back to crafting. And then what you can do is, let's say we have our salvage. We're going to go up to our salvage place. Now we can make an armor flake or a weapon flake. Now considering we just made our level 10 dagger and I want to do more damage, I don't want to be tankier right now, I'm going to make an armor or a weapon flake. So I go in here, it requires level 10 and requires 50 bucks. I can take 10 salvage and craft a weapon flake. So let's do that. And in 14 seconds that'll be done. And then so what these do is they increase the stats. So if I was to inspect it, can be applied to any weapon to increase extra stats, magic damage and physical damage. So I can just take these and make a bunch of salvage with destroying old gear for different classes, different things. They're gemstones that I'm not going to be using. It's just like your general recycling resource. And then you can convert it into actual usable things, which are usable for all classes. So whether you're physical or magic, physical damage is good or magic damage is good. So I could take this and apply it here. Now it's a +1 dagger. Up at the top, you see the +1, and you see it gives extra 2.5. So 0.2% increase of those 2 damages. And I can just keep increasing this over and over and over again. I think it's the limit is 20, I believe, for armor. So each piece of armor and for each weapon. And then, so like for example, if I was to look at this one, gives max health and cooldown, which is useful for everybody. So you can put all these flakes on all your armor. This is for crafting salvage with salvage fragments if you destroy fragments. So like we had the blood fragments that, for example, that we were using here to craft our armor. If we were to use If we were to be a ranger, we would need nature fragments. If we were a mage, we would need magic fragments. If we were a warrior, we need metal fragments, yada yada. If we're a paladin, we need a mixture of metal and nature. So if I'm definitely playing rogue, I don't need the nature fragments. I don't need the magic fragments. I don't need the metal all that shit. I can just salvage them down with the salvage tool, and then I get salvage fragments. And then up there, I can convert the salvage fragments into actual salvage, and then turn unwanted fragments into upgrades for my actual gear. So I can recycle shit to keep upgrading myself. So that's that station done. Now, let's say we want to make a gem. I want to make a red gem. We could do attack damage or skill damage. I'm going to go with skill damage because that's going to apply to my shuriken and my smoke bomb, which I use a lot of. I'm not a rogue player. I'm not the best at it, but so that's why I spam the shurikens more than I do auto attack, but auto attacking is definitely more damage. So I can make one. I got a skill damage, 1.9 skill damage. So if I was to look at this gem in here and inspect the gem, it can be 0.1 up to 3%. So you can get a really good roll or a really bad roll. Same with higher level gear. Starting at level 20, there's randomized stats on them. So there can be a low roll or a high roll. There's god tier. So you can get the same 15 of the same helmets, and none of them are going to be the same. Some of them are going to be good, some of them are going to be not so good. So Borderlands style drops, essentially. So I got a 1.9% skill damage gem. That's decent. I think we can craft another one, so let's craft another one. And I think that might be it. No, we can actually craft one more, so let's craft one more. Can we craft another one? I think we can. Yes, we can. Okay, so we're going to have that. 1.5, 1.9, okay. This one is done. 2.3, yeah? 1.6. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to start with the highest one. Because if you see, it says success rate is 65%. A lot of gambling, a lot of RNG. So I'm going to hope that this goes on. If it doesn't, then I'm going to go to the next highest one and then so on. It broke. Okay, nope. So the next highest one went on. So now, because of that, I have extra skill damage. You see, got added 1.9%. Let me see if we have any reds on armor. We do not. We just have 2 greens and 1 white. Maybe our shuriken. It has just a white. Okay. So that's it for reds. So that's gem crafting, essentially. Now the higher level gear, you notice how we only have 1 gemstone slot right now because we are level 10 gear. If I go to level 20 and look at the shuriken, for example, it has 3. If I look at the dagger, it has 3. Look at the helmet, it has 2. Chest piece has 3. Leggings have 2. And then boots have 1. So way more gemstone slots. So not only are the stats themselves higher, and they have rolls to them, which can be really, really high. But then you can also get god tier rolls on the gems themselves, and you get more gemstone slots. So this one has a blue gemstone slot on it, for example, which is mana related. Max mana, mana regen, depending on whatever you want to build. And then level 30 gear, even more. So if I was to look at the dagger, 4 on the dagger, 4 on the shuriken, 3 on the helmet, 4 on the chest piece, 2 on the boots, and 3 on the leggings. So even more stats on that, and even more gemstone slots, which then at level 30 you can craft level 2 gems and have even god tier rolls on level 2 gems even. So that is the gem stuff. You can break gem stuff down with the fragment tool or the salvage tool. So let's just say, for example, I did not want this gem. I could take this and salvage it, and now I got a gem essence. So if I take unwanted gems or bad gem rolls, I can craft them down and turn them into a universal gem essence, and then craft them into either gem foundation enhancers or foundations, whichever one I need. And then I can just craft these which are needed to craft the gems themselves. So as long as I have the essence, I can craft the foundations from that. Easy peasy. So that is the crafting or the gemstone cutting station pretty much done. So we got the salvage. There's a lot more to it. Okay, this isn't broken. Hold on. Let's fix that. And then I think we do item gunpowder. Set redstone lamp lit true. Okay, that's fixed. Get rid of that. Okay, so we got the flakes basically done up there. You got a general idea. The crafting of the equipment and weapons, general idea. Kill things, upgrade, craft, or kill things, loot, craft, upgrade. Rinse, repeat type shit. Cutting, that's the gemstone stuff. Got a firm grasp on that, I think. It's enough for now. And then let's do our quest. So this is how we get up there. Go hit our quest crystal. And we can see our quests here. So if I was to do /quests, it will say visit the quest crystal tower in spawn. So we come here, we go up to the tower, and we have our quest. So island daily quest. Breed 5 cows. Gives me a quest token. Kill 20 faction leaders in blue zone, which we just were doing. So we have progress 9 out of 20. So we killed 9 of them. Gives me $50. 200 cobblestone. We did a decent amount of that on my island. Easy peasy. We're at 117 out of 200. That'll give me another quest token. And then you get all these different quests here. This one gives me 5 resource disintegration liquids, which is actually really good. I'm going to probably change that to a different drop, but really good. So that's by killing Mildred the Miserable, which is the witch. So we killed one, so we got progress 1 out of 2. Yada, 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 different quests. And that's pretty much that. The quest system is really depends on, you kind of get roles, like different, some lucky quests, some not so lucky quests. Like this one, kill 5 of the following mini world bosses in yellow zone. That one's kind of rough. If you don't have a good build, that one's a little bit rough. And for early game, you kind of can't really do it because that's a hard quest. Craft a diamond block. That one's probably a bitch. Unless you're late game. Cactus might be relatively easier to do. So if I was going to do this hard quest, I'd probably go for the cactus. But anyways, that's that. So 2 ways to get down. If you have ADD, like I do sometimes, I can jump across this, land on here, bounce across, and bop, bop, bop. Or you can go through the portal and teleport back down, but that's less fun. So then the next station we got is the upgrading station. So this is where we would do level 20 shit. So we are level 10 now, so we don't have to worry about this place yet. But crafting level 20 gear will require shards instead of fragments. So if I go in here and you look at the fragments, we have the blood fragments. Where were they? Here, blood fragment. So we're getting blood fragments from mobs. This is how we crafted our level 10 gear. We use blood fragments. To craft level 20 gear, we need blood shards. So in order to get blood shards, we need a blood essence bottle tier 1. Requires level 20. We get that from the resource filling station. So here, we need a blood essence. So we need 15 blood fragments, an empty resource essence bottle, and a resource disintegration liquid, which is, if you remember from that quest earlier, we get some of those from that quest. And then empty resources bottle, they come from Mildred. She since she's a witch, she drops all that shit. A dead miner, which is one of the custom mobs that spawn on your island that can mine through blocks. So if you have a mob grinder and you don't pay attention to it, eventually he'll mine through it and he'll open the floodgates and let all the mobs out. And island drops, so you can do a bunch of different things on your island. And you get empty resource disintegration liquid bottles. So various things that you do will give you those, and then you come here and craft this, you get this, and you make a that, and then you make a thing, and then you upgrade a thing, and then you kill better, and then you loot more, and then you make a thing, yada yada yada. General whatevers. Here's Bubba's Burger. I just realized today that the player head that I was using for this Bubba's Burger block I guess the guy changed his head or something, so I'm going to do a custom texture for this. So I'll replace this with a custom in-house burger, so it will never change. But I woke up today and found that there was a floating pig head in front of Bubba, and he is where you get your Bubba's burgers, which are these. We'll buy a Bubba's burger. We go to Bubba's burger, and it gives you health, food, saturation, mana, and has a little bit of a cooldown. Delicious. And Bubba, not the cleanest guy, but he makes very good burgers. And then we have... I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, that's done. I don't know. I think I'm missing something. I'll probably think about it later and get pissed off. Then we have our casino, because nothing is fun without gambling. We got our grave token rollers, which you use for... Let's do this. Red zone. So, grave tokens are consumed when you die. When you die and you have a grave token in your inventory, costs 1 grave token. You could open your own grave. It says 3-minute protection, but I actually increased it to 5-minute protection. I'm going to have to change the lore of this. I'll probably end up making it 10-minute protection, to be honest. So the killer, if you're the killer of somebody, you can open their grave right away. If you're not the killer and you see somebody kill somebody else, the person who died and the person who killed them get first dibs on opening that grave, basically. And then after 10 minutes it unlocks, and then anybody can grief it or whatever. So that's where PvP is enabled, and you drop your loot. And PvP is enabled in yellow zone, but keep inventory is on. There are scaling difficulties. So in going from blue zone to yellow zone, there are more factions that spawn. Giant tree ants, shroud gloom hearts. There's a new faction that is new for the mansion. So there's a mansion. The zone is, there's a mansion in the zone, basically. So there's a mansion and an outpost in like a 600 block world border, small-ish relatively zone. The mobs are harder. They have more skills, different factions. They have different behaviors. The tree ents are crazy strong. The shroud gloom hearts are crazy strong. They have their own abilities. The giant tree ents, like giant tree ents, they throw fucking saplings, and they trap you in roots, and they pull you in with like leaves and tree things. And yeah, super cool, super intense, pretty difficult. A lot of people die here. I don't want to spoil it, so if you have any interest in seeing how Yellow Zone is, because Blue Zone is really cool, but it's just designed to kind of get you acclimated to... You don't always get bent over, but sometimes you'll get bent over. The mobs will bend you over, and they just kind of have their way with your innards. And, you know, it get your feet wet kind of place. And then this is definitely jumping more into the deep end of the pool. Definitely ups the ante. Totally different vibe. Definitely more intense, more drops, different kinds of drops, different abilities, yada yada yada. And then Red Zone is Red Zone is wild. Alright, so next is the casino. So this is where we can gamble. Grave tokens, that's that. Dripstone, pointed dripstone. We can see we have a chance to get a pointed dripstone, 5%, or these logs. So obviously pointed dripstone is what you want out of there. Gravel, which is nice because you just get gravel, and you can buy coarse dirt in shop. If you get lucky and get some gravel here, then you just made dirt, basically. So coarse dirt and gravel, I don't know if you knew this or not, but you can make dirt with coarse dirt and gravel, which is great for Skyblock. And then your quest token roller, be adding a bunch of slot machines in here. So your quest token roller, you spend your quest token, and which we'll do one real quick. We'll grab our test quest token, because we got some of these in our inventory back at the base. And we'll run it, see what we get. Oh, piston. Hell yeah, that's a really good roll. I'm going to put that on my island. Or maybe not, because I spawned the... Whatever. I'm going to probably end up using the piston, I'll be honest, because that's a really good roll. And we got our town guards. Now, the island. Let's go back to our island. I'm definitely going to store that piston. So let's go out here. Being that I'm the server owner, I have some dev stuff on the island just for like whatever. This runs a command to open the skill tree. This runs a command to open my player. Whatever. We got moo cows. These are custom cows, so if I just chill and let these cows chill, they're attracted to grass. So as long as there's grass, they'll spawn, and then they'll shit out. Like when you hear him moo, like he's in pain, he'll shit out an entire milk bucket, which we can sell or drink. And then we get empty buckets we can use if we want. How they make the bucket, I don't know. I know how they make the milk. I don't know how they milk themselves and then make an entire bucket and milk themselves into the bucket. But it sounds very painful when they make a bucket of milk. They make a very painful sound. And then they shit out a milk bucket. Now, if I was here, if I was camping on my island, which I could grab, let's say I want to grab my chunk loader. We're going to take this. We're going to eat that to get the chunk loader. And then I can place this wherever I want. Let's say we place that here. Now the chunk loader will just keep the whole island loaded so I can go do whatever I want. And then that will keep everything rendered so my crops will... Did he make a bucket? No? Okay, that sounded painful, but he did not make a bucket. So that'll keep everything rendered. So, you know, I'll leave and I'll come back, and then there'll be frogs here. So there's frogs that, as long as they're in water, they shit out lily pads, and then I can sell the lily pads. And then there's mama chickens that will spawn. I don't know if there is anyone. Another milk bucket. But yeah, mama chickens will spawn. I'll spawn one of those to show you. And what she does, she has a little baby. And then every once in a while, she'll poop out another baby. Because babies get pooped out. That's how your mom gave birth to you. She pooped you out. And she'll poop out a little baby, and then the babies poop out little eggs. Eggs don't make chickens. Chickens make chickens. So the babies don't get hatched from eggs. They just get pooped. So she'll make baby chickens, and the baby chickens will always try to follow her. So if I push her... Go ahead, go. Go that way. The baby chicken will try to follow her. So they freak out. They try to get back to mama. So mama will make babies, and babies make eggs. So I would want to trap her and keep all my chickens together and all custom mobs. And then there's bees that come from these beehives. The beehives spawn near wood, near trees. The bees try to protect the beehive. So if I go over there and hit it, now the beehive gets pissed off, makes a bunch of more bees. The bees want to come after me. I get money for killing the bees. Kill them off. The poison on them really hurts. Now there's just an empty beehive. Really pissed off. So if I kill that, it dropped a beehive flight egg. So if I eat this, it gives me the fly command for 30 seconds. All different kinds of shit here, all custom. Your cobblestone generator makes custom things. Your trees, your crops, your pumpkins, your mob grinders even. So this was all filled in. The dead miner spawned out here, so there's a bunch of custom mobs that'll spawn. I hear a shoulder. Alright. So Oscar the Grouch will come visit your island as well. And he drops Oscar's nose pick, which is a diamond pickaxe. So there's all custom mobs that drop custom items, that execute custom skills. A lot of them are going to be using custom textures, which only a few days ago I finally started getting into the custom texture things. We started with the weapons. This is why we got the custom dagger look, and then the shuriken look, which I think the shuriken is so sexy, dude. I love the way the shuriken looks. All this different stuff. So I come here, I make my farms, I upgrade my island, I make my money here. I spend the money on crafting character upgrades, so the Skyblock and the RPG feed each other. So you get stronger with your character by making your island stronger. Your island needs to get stronger. Otherwise, you'll just hit a roadblock where if you have no money, you can't craft anything. You can't craft anything, you can't upgrade your character. You can't upgrade your character, you can't progress. So you have to balance out between your RPG and your Skyblock. So it's two totally different concepts. Relatively new. I've never really seen like such a heavily RPG server with such in-depth class stats, gear, crafting, resources, like the abilities, like all this different build theory that we have, and then Skyblock on top of it. And all the Skyblock stuff is exclusive to the Skyblock. None of these mobs spawn out in the combat worlds. None of the hostile mobs here spawn out in the combat worlds. They're all island specific. So two totally different concepts merged together. Two different servers merged together into the same server. So tons of content, tons of interactions and different possibilities. The goal was essentially no two Minecraft days will ever be the same. So as you go out and you fight things and you level up, you'll see so much chaos happen where you'll just go up over the ridge of a mountain. So I'm running through the world, I come over here, I come over the top, and I see over there out in the distance there's, you know, a whole pack of goblins going to town on an Oscar the Grouch. And then up on top of the mountain on the side, a whole army of skeletons catch wind of that and then start coming down after the goblins. And then the goblins see them coming, so then the goblin artillery guys start launching artillery strikes down from the sky directly onto the skeletons. The skeletons take huge AoE explosions. Then the skeleton leader, Lord Marrow, gets pissed off, and then he summons a bunch of skeleton minions that start beelining for the goblin artillery guy. But then the little armadillo riders blow their little obnoxious battle horn and then start pushing the skeletons away so they can't get to the splat loader. And then a nose man joins the mix and sniffs in the splat loader artillery guy, and he tries to pick him off. And then the goblins turn around and try to kill nose man, but then he freaks out and runs away. So he's running away, and half the goblins go after him, and then the other half of the goblins that are still fighting the skeletons get run over by the remainder of the skeletons. And then pillagers get involved, and then a world boss gets involved, like a wild ravager who is absolutely massive gets involved, and he starts blowing holes in the terrain. It's insane. There are so many different things that can happen, and we're adding things every day. There's just every day there's some kind of system overhaul, skin updates, yada yada yada, just constantly making things and reworking things and making things more efficient and streamlining things, getting rid of broken things, hot fixes, so much. We've been running servers for a long time. We've been planning this server out for a long time, so we have a lot of experience, and none of this is copy-pasted. This is a two-man team. Me and one other guy made all of this. We're using custom plugins that he coded himself, Java coded himself, completely custom plugins. Like for someone, you do your /pl, we're using Wellborn Core. It's one of the plugins that we're using, which everything gets filtered through. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to work. I got a bunch of things to do. I really spent way too much time on this video, but I just have so much to show, and it's just so exciting to me. But all right, I'll put the IP and whatever in the description, yada yada yada. If you're this far into the video, you've probably already seen it, or I don't know, 1% of the people who watch the video got this far. Whatever. If you're one of those people who got this far, I don't know. Maybe I'll see you. Bye.